Hello, everybody. Welcome to Two Guys, One Bench.
Why'd you force the mic thing in there? It's not even supposed to go in.
Shut up.
You
Let's
forced
not
it.
start on a negative note, bitch. So we're starting.
You forced
Let's start more positive. So my name is Duncan.
it. L. Jackson.
All right, his name is Melvin. I wanted him to introduce himself. And today we're gonna start with how SpongeBob people reference the Seven Deadly Sins. 'Cause fuck it.
We don't have to.
Cut. All right, so why not? It doesn't really matter what we talk about. Let's just start a discussion. And let's force the conversation in different places.
Starting off with you.
All right, bitch. So basically, there's a show called SpongeBob, for people that don't know, that aired on Nickelodeon from the late 90s and about 1999 to the early 2000s, and it actually still airs new episodes. On that television show, certain characters represent different elements of the Seven Deadly Sins, which would be gluttony, lust, greed, pride, sorrow, or just being like depressed, wrath. I don't know what vainglory is, and sloth. I have to look that up. So basically, we were trying to deduce which characters were which. Now, this is just a
We
theory,
already
by
had-
the way.
We already had idea which characters are which. But I don't know. It's like it carried off in the Seven Deadly Sins. In fact, I think it's only really 7. That's the thing. Like, it's only 7, like, there's only 7 of them.
deadly
actually.
sins. No, in general, sins in general. It's like lying supposed to be a sin. It's like there are 10 commandments and 7 deadly sins that were made by a pope in, I think, 18 to 1900s. And he made them because he thought they were like something people should avoid. Either that or it came from Dante's Inferno, which was a book about a guy who went to hell. I forgot why, but basically he went to hell. He saw all the circles of hell, and it was the most vivid description of hell that people actually accepted. Because it was like, in each circle, it was people that did minor stuff. And then it was like one part where like it was very vivid how they explained it, but people that hanged themselves, they were basically hung by their feet or something. Then murderers, they were getting killed, or just different things in every circle of hell. It might have come from that, or I believe it is the Pope. I don't think it's Dante's Inferno. But for SpongeBob, well, yeah, SpongeBob, a television series, I think it could symbolize that. But in general, when it comes to kind of when people are talking about like theories and all that, like the Rugrat theory or just different things, I always feel like they're trying to force their ideas on somebody else's, and regardless of if it's good or bad, they are doing that, which doesn't really like hurt them.
They gotta do it. That's the thing. They're trying to like appeal to the viewer, so it's like they have to give you something.
They have to give you something, but I feel like when it gets too serious and people start taking it like, oh, this is truth, like this was made, I think that's when it gets out of hand.
Kind of like a theory when they start having those, and
Yeah,
then
when a
they start
theory
believing
becomes
it's
a
a
fact.
yeah.
Because what's his name? Albert Einstein. Like he had a theory of relativity, which basically is preventing time travel. But that didn't get disproved yet. But people take it as fact because it makes all this sense. When it comes to science or anything, until somebody proves it, it's not true. And until the creators say for SpongeBob, okay, we meant to do this, they probably didn't mean to do it. They probably just made the characters because it's a goofy show. Or they might have done it. They have a lot of adult humor or adult jokes or just different things, but they're like regular characters to me. I mean, other than SpongeBob, because you usually don't have a hero that's in a, let's say to me that would be a depressing situation, but to him he's gleeful, he's extremely happy. His strife is basically nothing. That's why it's a good kid show to me, because there's no problems. His life is perfect to him. Only problem was he wasn't working at the Krusty Krab before. What he was doing, nobody knows.
Yeah, man. Nickelodeon really does like have a thing for just making adult humor inside of cartoons.
Not no more, man. Oh yeah, I watched
Yeah,
Loud
they-
House, right?
Oh yeah, they do.
They
Loud-
do it, but not the same way.
No, Loud House still do it, bro. It was this one episode
No.
when his father had ended up like he was talking about ties, but his son thought he was talking about like the kids, all 11 of them, and
Number
he
one,
ended up saying one
that
thing.
nigga a Spartan, bro.
He ended up saying something about a white hair because you know the main protagonist, the boy, he's the only boy in the
Did we
family.
say his name? I
Lincoln, Lincoln, he has like white hair.
forgot. What's
So
his last name? Loud?
yeah,
Lincoln Loud. He's weed. Loud House. Trap House.
no.
I'm just saying, man. All right,
It-
but continue. I apologize.
But his father ended up like talking about a white hair tie or some shit, and then he ended up saying, you know, I'm not even sure this is mine. So when Lincoln thought he was talking about,
It's fucking stupid as hell.
that shit was fun.
Why does he have white hair and his granddad has white hair, but nobody else has white hair?
I don't know.
Creative design. You guessed it wrong. All right, continue. What
Yeah,
did
that
you
shit
do?
was funny.
Because I didn't see that one. I saw like 2 episodes. I saw the one with the car in the perfect seat. And I saw one where he wasn't listening. And really, when I watch Loud House, I'm like, damn, I want to hit these bitches.
I'll be wanting to do that too,
But then I
especially the
think
dumb
about
one.
Chris Brown and how that played out, and I kind of want my legacy to be secured.
Especially the dumb one though.
Which one? Which of the 10 other
She
ones?
wears sunglasses on her head and shit. She say like stupid shit. So I'd be like, sometimes like
So
you just think in
Melvin,
your
other than
head.
Sunglasses, all of them, including Lincoln.
You don't wear sunglasses.
No, I'm saying all of them are dumb.
Yeah, they all are
You're
dumb.
talking that loud too much, man.
But oh yeah, they got another episode that did the exact same shit though. Like his sister like moved in his room. It's technically a closet and shit.
Wait,
But-
which sister?
The sporty one, the one who like beat him up all the time. She like she
I don't
said the
watch shows.
funniest shit, bro. All right, so what she ended up saying was, she ended up like when she was moving into his room, she said, "Bro, you know what this room lacks of? Balls." I was like, "God damn!"
It's fucking funny as hell.
But you know, she did like bring out like actual balls, like tennis balls and basketballs. But it was the fact that she says lacking of balls.
That's funny as fuck.
That
Balls.
shit was funny.
Sometimes I wonder, will I ever get balls in my room? Mommy, can I have some balls? No.
Yeah, that shit
That
was
was
funny as hell.
I feel like
I think that's what make cartoons funny to me sometimes.
when they
like,
have like things that mean 2 things.
no adult humor, when they slickly put it in there, like how Animaniacs used to do.
They didn't sneak shit. They said exactly what they meant. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
but they
nurse.
cleverly put in there.
Oh, nurse. And they used to pass out like, can you check me up under my robe, bitch? And remember, she was smart and he was like, oh, whatever. Which is funny as fuck. Because being a nurse takes actual
They were
intelligence.
clever with how they used it though.
They said, I want to fuck you.
And sometimes when they
just
weren't
didn't
clever,
curse.
it's like it didn't even sound. The meaning wasn't even what they were making it sound like. They were clever with it.
Give an explanation.
You know, that's why Animaniacs is so creative to me.
I feel like Animaniacs was funny, and all during that period of time, that cartoon company was very successful, like Warner Brothers. And right now, they make good Batman movies and films and television shows, and like Justice League stuff. But I don't believe they make the best
TV
other
shows.
content. Yeah, I don't see their other content.
Movies. They don't make the best movies, live action movies.
I'm not gonna talk about that because I don't watch enough movies to really know which ones Warner Brother makes. But in the cartoon
Superman v
genre,
Batman.
I can't even like name one recently. That was like, I can't even name one. I don't even think they still do that. But at that period of time, they were really good. Cause it's like, the reason why kids shows can be really funny is you can enjoy it as a child than an adult. To me, and when it comes to shows like Animaniacs or the fucking Batman show, like it's not just because it's action that it's interesting. They have jokes and shit. It's quips. They actually built characters. Harley Quinn came from that one Batman show, animated series. They introduced you to Batman Beyond. Like, they did a lot with like those series while they used them.
Yeah, they use like. I like how their growth. You know how they just growing into us really.
Yeah, because it's kind of for character design and making good television shows and good content. You need to build your characters. And by building your characters, you need to not just say, this character does this, or just like introduce concepts and scripts continuously. You need to make things that the character does and make them into a person. Like we all know Homer says dough, but during the original years of The
Homer
Simpsons,
Simpson. You know, from The
Yeah.
Simpsons.
he's kind of a pop culture icon in a way. So if you don't know who he is, I'm not saying that you're like you might be coming from a different country or something. But Simpsons,
Hey! Everybody in every country should know who he is now.
no, like literally, like it's kind of like saying when Michael in the '90s, that's like saying you don't know who Michael Jackson was. That's like really, I understand that could be what you're saying, but that means you might have not saying you live under a rock, but to a certain extent, that's equivalent to that. But
Might as
when
well.
basically, I'm not gonna come at anybody because people don't know who he is. I'm not upset about it. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to Homer Simpson or any one of the characters, they have their own conscience. So when I'm watching a television show, or even Peter Griffin, it's like I know Peter's stupid, but I understand why he's doing that. And it's funny because I know who the character is, so I almost can guess what they're going to do in this situation. And like they built the characters so that they're a person. It's not just, oh, he's a stupid guy. It's like Homer's dumb, but he likes his family. He doesn't like working, and he consistently doesn't like those things. It's kind of like,
Yep.
I was thinking earlier about like brands and shit. He has the same values as a brand, like for the whole time the Simpsons have been on. Like McDonald's doesn't go, oh, we're gonna become Burger King when Burger King comes along and they have a new sandwich. They just say, okay, you're adding bacon to your sandwiches, we're gonna add bacon now, but we're gonna call it McDonald's, we're gonna brand it as ourselves. Homer doesn't go, oh, Peter Griffin's here, they're making more adult content, let me make more adult jokes. He goes, let me be myself, and maybe the writers are gonna learn, or more of the writers than Homer, because he's fucking character.
Right.
But more the writers are kind of like, oh, I see they're doing that. Let me learn from that, but put it into Homer's world. But they still keep the character the same, and the brand of the character the same. So I understand. Okay, this is something Homer would do, and I think sometimes when you change that,
Sound like you said homo would do.
we don't use that term. I found out homosexual and transsexual; those are like offensive. It's as bad as tranny. You're supposed to say trans man or woman, and you're supposed to say gay or something. I googled it for some reason. It's I don't know, but
All right.
Melanie's got me fucking spitting
Alright.
facts and shit. But
I got you telling the truth. Your real intentions.
offend everyone. Find out how. No, but they kept the brand the same with those animated shows from Warner Brothers, and that's what made it good. And if you try to change the brand too much, we talked about that in another podcast. I don't know if we released it. I think we did. No, we definitely did. Like the Powerpuff Girls Samurai Jack theory of if you change too much, people aren't gonna like it, and if you change too little, then people
I
and you
think we
just make
said that
small
in
changes.
3
People are gonna like
podcasts,
it.
actually.
We've said I'm referencing it forever. Also, it's time for a commercial break. We're brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Do the do. Have it your way. Dr. Pepper.
Right.
All right, we're returning. Yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Also, this guy named A$AP Ferg dropped an album, right?
ASAP.
Are you aware of him?
Nope.
Or have any knowledge? Do you know who A$AP Rocky is?
He's not the best of rappers.
I'll accept that. Because basically he dropped an album. Personally, as a fan, I've been a fan of his last 2 projects, like his commercial ones. Trap Lord and A$AP. This one, personally, I like a couple of the songs and I like the production on tracks, but I think he was trying a little bit too hard to be a part of the curve. And he's not a new rapper, and he was making great music before this, in my own personal opinion. And I just wanted to talk about what's your opinion on maybe rappers. What the fuck? That bird is close as shit.
Yeah, that's a hummingbird.
Fuck that hummingbird.
Like,
That little motherfucker. I thought that shit was a dragonfly.
cause that bitch was like staying still. That's the
No,
first-
because it's small as fuck. The fuck? That shit wasn't humming.
Nigga, why weren't you like surprised that the
She was
bitch was like
going
staying
your eye.
still? Like I never seen a bird actually do that besides a hummingbird.
It was still flying though. Its wings were moving really
but it wasn't
fucking
like
fast.
moving up and down like this. It was just staying still.
I'm very confused.
Think about it.
Nigga, I don't. That shit scared me a little bit.
I didn't even notice until you said something.
Cause that bitch was right behind you. I was like, this shit about. I thought it was about to go in my eye. Honestly, I thought that shit was gonna peck me, go in my eye. I was gonna get scared. And honestly, before I go back to the whatchamacallit thing, how the fuck do bees sting you? Cause think about it. If you're wearing long pants, or even if you're wearing shorts, how do they know I'm about to sting this motherfucker in the arm? How do they know I did anything to them? If I'm slapping at you, and you're a fucking bee, imagine looking through a fucking tiny bee vision. That's like looking at a fucking skyscraper and shit. Like, that's a natural equivalent. I don't know what part of the skyscraper to hit. I just know that bitch is big as fuck. And I see shapes and shit on it. How the fuck does a bee know where the fuck to sting you?
Because bees are intelligent. No, they're not. They're just
They're
creatures who know how to
retarded.
fucking hit you.
Like,
All right,
like if you have a shirt on, right, and a bee stings you, I'm pretty sure it shouldn't go through the shirt. Or if you have pants
Well, how
on.
would a person know how to blow down the building? Simple. They pay attention to the insides and what it looks like.
But bees are retarded. We're cognizant. So let's say, well, not retarded. They're mentally. Now they're retarded. I don't give a fuck.
We're considered to be smarter, like
No, we
animals,
have reason
but
and we can
bees
think.
are like they're still creatures who have natural
They
instincts.
have one thought. The difference between us and animals is animals just want to survive. We want to survive, and we have existential feelings that we don't understand because we're not really supposed to have them. Like how we think about, I don't want to eat that. I want to eat this. Or I don't like them. Or I hate that. Or I want to be happy. Animals don't got to deal with that shit. They say, I want to live until I die. They don't even know what death is until they fucking see their mom shot on some Bambi shit.
You talk about they got animals do have feelings. You got certain animals like chimpanzees, like and other type of smart animals that
You know they like
start
prostitute
colonies,
themselves?
including bees.
They prostitute themselves.
Yeah, so they don't die. That's what keeps them together.
The women are like, I'll suck your dick for a banana, which is the funniest equivalency ever.
No, they fuck a whole bunch of males, so that way those other males who hasn't fucked her don't try to kill the baby.
That's one reason, but no, that's gorillas. Chimpanzees in general, they have sex for money, currency, for fun. Bonobos do weird fucking dick fighting shit. I had to learn it in school or something. Yeah, that's the excuse.
Why the fuck were they teaching you that in school? I learned that on Animal Planet.
I don't
the
want some
fuck?
goddamn animal.
I
Planet.
went
ain't
on
no
pub-
pussy, nigga.
I went on a fucking channel, and kids can be looking at that channel, and I just learned that shit.
You see the
Any
long
kid
ass
can know it
titties for the
now.
first time. You start watching that shit. I watch goddamn what's that Life channel called? Fucking
called Nat Geo
Explore. Nat Geo Wild. That shit wild, bro. I thought it was called Pornhub. But it's no.
It's really not funny just because you talk about how they show African women.
Them bitches swinging. Did your chain hang low? There's a wobble to the Does it shine in the light? Does your nipple hang low? Does it wobble to the floor? Does it shine in the light? I think they said in that song, do your chain play tic-tac-toe?
Yeah.
And I always thought about that, like, man, rap music is stupid. And it got worse somehow. Cause
That's
niggas
one of the
are-
best songs you talk about.
Okay, so Melvin, imagine if that song influences so many people to not make songs about any subject or make any intellectual material just to copy that sort of song. Imagine if that happened in a world where all music was based off of music that meant nothing. It didn't really have a purpose other than to sell and for people to listen to it and buy it. And that music became less of an art form and more of just shit that you can buy or just shit you talk about. But you don't honestly have a lot of opinions or you don't care about it. That's Earth right now. Music don't mean shit.
It's not that music don't mean shit. It means shit to a lot of people.
No, I mean like technically, in my own personal experience, for the masses, like Drake is talking about something. It might not be something significant to everybody, but he's trying to say something with his music. You could tell because of how it sounds. It sounds really fucking good. He put time and care into it. When you don't give a fuck, it turns into like, A, it turns into shit, or B, it just sounds really good, but it doesn't mean anything. Like a lot of people.
Yeah,
Like-
but then that don't mean that everybody like don't care about music. Everybody in some type of way care about
No,
music.
I didn't say people didn't care. I'm saying that in a
You
world where
know,
music doesn't matter,
in a world where music doesn't matter, or this world music doesn't
this
matter.
world, music doesn't have societal change like in the 60s and 70s.
It don't
or
need
even
to
like
change. It really don't. We got so many different versions of music. Like you got just music when you just play an instrument, a raw instrument. Like you don't even have
No
digital things.
no, I'm trying to articulate the point that music used to do things. It used to change fucking people's opinions about stuff. You used to listen to music and it used to bring people together. Now it's kind of like people care less about the musicians, and honestly, I don't know if they like give a fuck right now. People care less about like how the music's made. They just care about listening to it and then asking for more music. Or it's like less of a conversation piece of, oh, is this person gonna say something? It's more like, oh, do I like the sound of this song? All right, cool, I'm gonna listen to it, and I might go to their concert if you really like that person. I think that's what it's boiled down to for me. Other people can have different opinions, but for the top tier artists, they're making music that's meaningful. People give a fuck about it. It means something. When you hear a Drake song, for certain people, that shit's like, it's a thing to you. When it comes to other artists, like let's say fucking Meek Mill, for example, just because they're always going to be connected. I listen to Meek Mill's music, I'm like, it sounds good, but it doesn't really sound or feel like anything in general. It just feels like, oh, he's rapping and it sounds good. I like the feeling of how it sounds, or maybe the song, but it doesn't make me feel a way. Where I can listen to, let's say, Kendrick Lamar, and even on DNA, where like I would say that's more pop music or a more popular music style for hip hop, I still feel like he's trying to say something. It always feels like there's some sort of conscience, like the art has a meaning, it's a purpose to it. I feel like right now it's not like nobody has a purpose. It's less about the art, it's more about fucking making money from the art. Financial shit. That's why I think
That's what most
movies
life
and-
is about. People want to make money financially. While
But-
you got some people in this world who don't really care about it. They just want to just do the work. You know, they love just what they do more than they love making money. You know,
But the
and
people
most
that make
people
the
believe
most
that
money-
that's how you're supposed to feel about it, because that means that you can take it and flourish it and make it better than what it is. People feel like those are the people who really care about it, but that don't always mean that's true, because the people who want money are the people who actually want to make sure they can invest them more, so that way they can utilize these talents to make it
or a
even
waste
greater.
of money, or just to have it.
Yeah, you can have some shitty ass people, but then you can also have shitty ass people who's never going to get anywhere, who only care about just the music. So
R.
then
Kelly.
they never actually change it, they never actually make it better, but they're loyal to it.
They're
You got all
loyal to their
types of
style of
people.
music. I think that, how I see it is the people that take the most time, put the most effort into their music, and really make shit that has a conscience, they're the biggest. Like if you look at fucking Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Jay-Z, he's talking about more things, but he's always said stuff in his music. It might not have been as intelligent or more as thoughtful as this is now, where he's saying invest your money correctly, don't just fuck up shit, or don't do certain things because you're more prone to fuck up everything if you like beef with everybody, or we can all do things together. He's trying to bring unity in a way. That's how I interpreted it. But for certain people, like let's say a fucking, who's a rapper you know?
We always got to bring up a rapper. How come we can't bring up other singers?
Because, so to me, rap is pop culture because it literally is. Fucking ant. And when it comes to pop culture and shit, I feel like this is the front of the movement, because when I hear country songs, they're using 808 fucking bass. They're trying to sound like rap songs, how they're formatted. This is popular music. So I feel like this should be the most important to talk about. It might not sell the most, even though it's popular music, but that's the fan base you're going with. But everybody emulates it. It is the cool thing to be. So that's how I look at it. Because country music's always going to have people to buy it. That's what their fans do. Christian music or religious music, it's always gonna have people buy it. That's the fuck the people do. It might not sell as much as other shit,
Yeah,
or you might not make as much because
I don't really get that. A good majority of people say that they like follow religion, but nobody really cares to buy it. Like
nobody gives a fuck
like
about religion.
to buy the music.
I saw people leave church and go to the fucking strip
And
club.
that actually be some of the best music too. Like every time I hear it, I'm not actually disappointed in what I'm hearing.
That's part of church. I think in general, people don't give a fuck. And when I say people don't give a fuck, what I mean is they don't care about the ramifications of different things that aren't going to happen or didn't happen because we're people. We care about the immediate. We're not like, how am I going to eat 4 weeks from now? We're like, how am I going to eat right now if you're hungry? Where if you're like not going to hell today or you're not going to die now, you'll be like, oh, I just go to church later. You push things off because in our nature, that shit doesn't really bother us. We just think it does because other people might pay attention to it more. And they'll say it's wrong if you don't go to church or you don't fucking treat people well and you don't donate or just different things. We're people. We're not fucking sages. We're born to be ourselves. And ourselves are kind of shitty. Like, helping people isn't really part of our DNA. Our DNA is to say, fuck you. How am I going to survive?
How you gonna
honestly?
say that?
Because look that shit up. Like, look at... So, have you ever seen somebody getting bullied? And
Yeah.
nobody will help them?
There's some people in this world, but we were interesting because we make out what we want to do for our own lives.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
I'm
you
saying
see
in
as
our
fit in
DNA.
your own DNA, but that's not how I see it. Just because you see animals do that, and animals don't really even do that. Like, you got some animals that will do it.
You ever heard of a
but
run of
not
the
all
litter?
animals do it.
Or the weakest animal? No, but in nature, if you look, the biggest animal, which would be like the king of the pride or the fucking head lion, he runs the pack. The weakest one dies, he gets eaten. That's really how nature works. And we're still animals, even
Not
though
all
you say
animals
we're not.
work like that, though.
What animals don't?
There's plenty of animals that
No,
don't.
but give me an example. Don't just say
ants.
that.
Ants, bees. I mean, I'm
Bees
just
eat
bringing
their
up
weak.
bugs.
Bees kill each other all the fucking time. No, you know the old queen, they eat the old queen. That used to like, that is their mother for a large majority of them. Ants too, they eat their old queens and shit. They kill themselves, each other, just because they're weak now. That's kind of how nature works.
All right,
Mother
what
Nature's a
history,
cold
what
bitch.
have you looked up that's told you that?
History, we talked about it earlier. If you watch fucking Nat Geo Wild or you fucking go to school, you find that shit out. It's fucked up, but it's real.
No,
Fucking
what?
dogs eat
Why
their
would
puppies sometimes. Bears do the same shit.
why would they eat their own kind when they can just separate and then they can make an even stronger kind?
Because it's a new queen now. They don't give a fuck. You know how they... you ever seen a government
You
get
saw that
overruled?
made sense. I'm gonna believe in both of the statements just because I really can't say that you're wrong about that. But then it could be
No,
like a
think-
time where
you
like
ever heard about
they
the
do
French
do it.
Revolution? So basically, to give a short fucking history of it, back in the day, Marie Antoinette and this guy who was the king, I forgot his fucking name. I think his name was like Francis or some shit. Basically, they wasted a lot of France's money. They put that money in the hole, and that was the king and the queen and shit, right? So then what happened was they took those people and they murdered them, and then they branded Brand New Kingdom. They could have thrown them in jail for the rest of their life. They killed him. When it came to Adolf Hitler, the citizens were behind him. All Germany was like, yeah, Hitler. Then after it wasn't cool to say, yeah, Hitler, they killed him. Because he was weak now. Not because he was never weak, because that's a weak-minded person in general, but people do that. Like, if you talk about like the Confederates in the South and shit, like we still say that's fucking wrong because we won.
But it was
Even
still
though morally
like
that's wrong.
representing a violent like backstory, you know. It still was violent, and people of course they wanted more. If they could get more, they would try. We're all greedy in some type of way, but it's not saying that all people are like that. It's not saying
I'm not
that's a
saying
natural
everybody is. I'm
instinct.
saying in our DNA.
It's
At
just
the
saying
very
that
root
some
of us.
people are moved by what he has said, and then when his movement was like kind of lacking because he was like falling apart because he was getting beat. Of course, they wouldn't follow him down.
He just made some incorrect decisions. But he's not the leader of the pack anymore. He got weak, and then they killed him. Or he killed himself, whatever they want to say. Whatever people want to believe, they can believe. But personally, I'm not saying that I feel that way. I feel like if somebody's not doing well, I think you should help them. But I don't think everybody's like that. At the very core of them, I think a lot of people are kind of selfish. And that's not like just because of people I met. It's just from different situations, reading about different things, educating myself. It's like it's fucking in our brain. It's like when you have kids, that's a little bit different. But some parents don't give a fuck, and some parents do. It just depends on the person. But in our root, it's kind of like, all right, we fend for ourselves, our
That's
family
it.
members.
It's just like you said. It depends on the person, man.
It depends on the person, but I'm talking about at the very root of ourselves.
It's more like, in a way, we all have what we would consider our own way of what you just basically said. You know, we all have things that we're willing to defend. We all aren't going to, like, at the end of the day, if we had to, like, you know, kill somebody because they're weak, in
No, you don't
a
have
type
to.
of way
You
we would do
choose to
that.
in nature.
Like, for instance, if you, like, had a friend who was doing music with you, like, y'all was in a music group, and he wasn't that good because, you know, he was, like, the guy was sucking at singing, you would dump him as soon as.
I probably would. So here's my thing, and here's where I think I might differ from some people. Melvin, you already know that was a situation, and I didn't care. That was my friend. The reason why we didn't make music anymore is because we weren't friends anymore. Your ability has nothing to do with it, because, like, at the podcast, you might not be the best. We might never be good, honestly. I doubt that, because if you work at something, you can become great. But you might be the one leading the podcast, or I might be the one leading the podcast. But if we're both doing it at the same time, I think there's loyalty there. It's more of a friendship than it is about the podcast or about anything. And some people are just like, well, if they fucking suck, then I'm not going to help them. But if you know that person and it's not a theoretical situation, you're going to give a fuck. You're not just going to be like, let me dump my friend from this shit. Let us try to work hard. That's why people fucking make bands with their friends and shit doesn't work out. And it's just like, all right, I guess we're going to have to do something else. Or some people get kicked out. Like Drake got kicked out of a group. And then he started doing his own shit. Imagine that. Everybody started off in the beginning and his friend said fuck him. He's not going to be good or something. Or he wasn't good enough for the group. Now he's fucking Drake. And they're probably not Drake. You got to think about it. People are fucking stupid. Like 2 Chainz was in a group with another guy, and they never got to the place of success where they wanted to be, but people kind of counted him out. And then he had to come back and prove who he was for people to give a fuck. It's kind of like when it comes to entertainment or just being a fucking public figure, you really find out how people fucking feel about you. Because if somebody drops a hot song, right, let's say fucking Designer. If Designer stops making hot songs for like a month, people don't give a fuck anymore. They don't care about them. And it's fucked up, but that's real life. Unless, like, they're a fan of him, and then it's kind of a Kanye situation where he's not making the same level of art, but people still care because they hope he'll do the same stuff he used to do. But a lot of people said, man, fuck Kanye. He's being crazy. Even if they might have bought his first album, went to his concert, they might have liked Kanye, like, fuck him. My older sister included. So it's just, I think it depends
I like
on,
the new Kanye. I just like.
I don't like the new Kanye, but I like new Kanye at the same. It's like I dislike a large majority of them, but that's not a new Kanye. He was a grown man when he started doing music. He was about to be 30 years old. He already had in his brain what he thought the world was. And in general, if you hear the stories from back when he first got signed, or even before that, when he first got in the music industry and started gaining success, he was jumping on tables saying, I'm the next Michael Jackson. That was before he did anything. This is what he already thought. This is who he was as a person. We can't change that. And I'm not
but that's
mad.
what I like about him. I mean, he could, to me, yeah, he could make better music. Like, there could be some songs that he could just make better, but his music, to me, it hasn't really downgraded as much. It's the same. It's been the same. It's just that I just want to hear something new.
Yeah.
You know, I want him to change up what he's doing.
I want him to refine what he's already done. No, actually, here's my thing, because I could have 2 perspectives from this. So as an artist, I want him to do what he does. I want him to figure out whatever he figures out and just make art. And if you make good art, I think you should release it. As a consumer, I want him to make things that I like. and hopefully he continues to make things I like, and I kind of don't care how long it takes, and I just want to listen to good music. And I think from the standpoint of a consumer, that makes more sense. But from an artist standpoint, I think Kanye's going through something, and I think he should figure everything out. I don't think there's anything wrong with him like having down periods or periods where he doesn't have a good album, because he might come back. He might make great albums. He might just make decent shit. He might not make any more albums at all. But I'm happy that he made anything so that I can have an impact in my life. I can listen to it and feel away.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it. But to go back to it, I'm not saying that people don't give a fuck about each other, or that people are just like horrible in general. I'm just saying that people do fucked up things because that's in their DNA. Their DNA isn't to think about somebody else. Even though you could see somebody getting hurt, and you don't want to see a person get hurt, but not everybody's going to help that person.
Yeah, everyone.
Like, we've
It,
all seen somebody who's being treated poorly, and we're just like, okay, that's life. Because it's there, you can change your own situation. But even if I change this one situation, how do I know you're not going to allow yourself to get treated poorly again? That's my little tidbit on it. Also, we're going to have our commercial break. This show is brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
why you keep on saying
Do
commercial
the
break?
do.
You know you can just
Have it
sponsor
your
them.
way. All right, now we're returning.
Oh yeah, man, we got Pepsi and Dr. Pepper.
No, we have
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Pepper. We don't fuck with Pepsi. Dr. Pepper is the only thing we love.
No, nigga, I like Sprite.
All right, little yachty bitch, nigga.
Nigga,
Go like Minnesota.
What do I have to do with, like, a Little Yachty just because he like was in a Sprite commercial?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
give a
it.
fuck about that bitch ass nigga.
You know Biggie was in a Sprite commercial, and Nas, and
And
I don't think
Drake.
Jay-Z. Drake was, that was a good one with Drake, but I feel like Little Yachty ruined that brand.
I don't know. Sprite used to have good commercials because they always allowed some type of rapper to be on there. So
Last name ever. I just don't, first name greatest. I just don't agree with these rappers as much. Or I don't like Little Yachty stuff, but I do like Vince Staples, who's sponsored by them. He's
Yeah.
this guy that makes music, and I think he brings a very valid question. Is it more important to be good meaning or to be good? Because I could say Future is good, but I don't think he's good meaning. I don't think he has like a meaning of, let me make music so that people do good things or that they're influenced in a way that's positive. He just like, I'm making music, and he makes great music, arguably. I don't know which is right. It's just a question. Morally, whatever you think is correct. Because to me, I think it's more important for you to mean good than to actually do good. Because, like, if you mean good and you actually attempt it all the time, you're probably not going to do as much bad stuff as if you just are fucking an asshole who doesn't really care about shit.
I could see.
I could see. I could tell.
If you,
Like, I think Drake means good. I just think sometimes, I don't know. I don't know why he's, like, changing his style to, like, accommodate shit. Because I've never seen, like, other artists of his caliber do that. And I don't think he has to. He's Drake. Regardless of what he does, it's still going to be great. If he does new shit, old shit. I think he should, like, I think he should grow, but I don't know where he should grow. Like, I'm not in his position, so I can't really say. But other people of his stature, they just kept doing great things. They just didn't, like, kind of stick with the times as much.
Oh damn, I forgot
I can tell.
to look at Boku no Hero.
You know what's weird about Pokemon? It's almost like when the new season comes, all the old Pokemon are, like, not important anymore, other than fucking Pikachu. Like, you don't really see, like, all the old Pokemon or even, like, them referencing them. It's kind of like, if you see them in one season, you might never see that bitch again in the television show until Ash is like, I need a good Pokemon. I need somebody who can win. and he just gets him.
Yeah, there's a song for that.
I wanna be the very best and have sex with a girl. Dun, 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 dun.
You know what beats Pokemon right now?
Digimon.
Card games.
Why?
Well, I mean card animes. I don't know why, but it just got something interesting about them. It's about strategy and stuff.
I think card animes, like let's say even Yu-Gi-Oh, because that's the only one I could really think of that like I actually watched like multiple seasons of. I think what's interesting is in Yu-Gi-Oh's case, it was not just the card game; it was the characters, and also they made that shit seem so fucking like serious. Like if Yugi lost, he was gonna fucking die. I think that's why it's like those are kind of different because just like you're watching it, it's exciting, even though they're really just going, beat that. Oh shit, Blue Eyes White Dragon, spell card, fuck. Ah shit. Nah. All right. What's 2,000 minus 456? Like it's a lot of math and shit. But with the TV show, they're like, I draw. It's fucking 2 minutes of drawing. And then he looks at his hand. He's like, fuck. I have to save my uncle's life, or he's gonna die from this game somehow. And then he plays the card, and then Kaiba's like, I'm gonna play a Blue Eyes White Dragon. He's like, fuck you. I'm gonna play this other thing called Dark Magician, and I'm gonna get my grandpa back from getting murdered because you wanted to get a card. And then he beats him.
That's why Yu-Gi-Oh's the best.
That was the first fucking episode. He was gonna kill his granddad, I think, over a fucking card. I think he tried to beat him up because of the card. That was fucked up. He just got a different card. There are 3 of those monsters. You couldn't live with 2. And where did he get the fusion card for? For the goddamn Blue Eyes, three-headed Blue Eyes White Dragon. If he already had 2 in the fusion card, why didn't he just buy the other booster packs? He was a millionaire. He's basically Bruce Wayne, except for fucking card games. Which is hilarious, because he's like Bruce Wayne and Vegeta mixed.
So, Vegito
Bruce Vegeta.
or Gogeta?
No, that's Goku and Vegeta.
Gogeta.
He's not Goku.
Gogeta.
Batjeta.
What?
Batman, Vegeta. Batjeta.
I was thinking about Goku and Vegeta.
Why?
Because it's better.
Personally, I feel like Goku's, how do you say this? Cool.
How about Kruku?
Krillin Goku should never exist. Sounds like a bastard. Sounds like a fucking whore son. His mother will never love him. His wife will cheat on him. That'll be somebody else's wife. He'll never find love. He's just off the top of my head from the episodes I remember. And he's gonna die. No, you know what's even worse? What if he's like Goku's strength, but he keeps getting Krillin? He just keeps dying and losing.
He already lost.
Wait, did they really fuse in the TV show?
No.
I was about to say, like, why? Why does Goku want to be like... He might get 1% stronger. Because Krillin is the strongest human. But I don't know why he'd want to get stronger that way. He could fuse with Goten and probably be 100% better.
Duh.
I think Goten is not utilized enough. Because, like, what happened was Akira Toriyama was trying to replace Goku. And that's why he had him killed in the Cell Saga. But because Goku is such a large part of that goddamn series, that shit ain't work. So he was going to use Goten, but he got so much backlash after Goku died. And, like, that whole section where it was just Gohan and Goten, that basically Goku got brought back and Goten was just, like, back up. Like, there was no use for him. That's why they didn't have any other kids. Like, Goten's cool, but unless he's going to be Goku and it's going to become Dragon Ball like they wanted it to, probably not going to be any use for him.
Besides him just being a son who actually has, like, basically he's a prodigy.
Yeah, him and Trunks. Like, Trunks was cool. I think they were going to do that with him and Trunks, and they'd, like, have their own, like, thing. and Vegeta would just be there. Because if you see the beginning of the like Buu saga type stuff, they really didn't show Goku at all. Like they didn't even reference him, and it was like a different feeling show. Like Gohan was, he was going to school. It just felt different. It wasn't the same type of show, even though it was like same animation, same characters, same motivations almost, except they're a little bit different because Gohan was older.
I feel like Dragon Ball Z is lacking of a lot of things.
Oh,
Like really explosions, you know, the reality of what their power levels are, and
that's not what it's about though. It's not about reality. It's about escapism. I feel like.
no, I mean like how powerful they are. When I say that, I mean like basically these niggas are capable of destroying this whole entire planet.
But we know that. We saw that in the
if
Frieza
they were
saga.
like 200 feet in the air, they damn near can destroy a whole entire building just crashing down on it.
But Melvin, when you first saw Vegeta, the first time he destroyed a whole fucking planet.
Yeah,
They
but
showed it.
I'm talking about like spectacle looks. You know how One Punch Man, like during the fight with Boris, it actually looked good. You know, or
No,
when
but that's
he actually
defining his
punches
power
creatures.
level. Once you define the power level, you don't have to do it all the
I'm
time.
not really trying to say no, because they're already at a level where they're already good enough to do all that. I'm just saying.
But you
like,
know about Beerus?
I'm talking about the looks of how they actually do things.
Oh, you mean like when they're fighting, it looks like they're that powerful?
Yeah, like make the do more animation type stuff, and I feel like that's what Dragon Ball Z has always been missing.
I don't
You
know.
know.
I like the fights where they are because it's like they're very strong, but it feels like an even fight. It feels like one person could take the other one by surprise, and it's not just like Goku's punching the other dude. The other guy hits Goku sometimes, or whoever he's fighting. I feel like I like the feeling of Dragon Ball Z fights, man. They're awesome. Awesome possum. No, it's not awesome though. Fucking TN. Fucking Yamcha. I think
Tien
Dragon...
got 4 arms.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did he always have 4 arms?
Yeah, in the old Dragon Ball, he had 4 arms,
What the fuck?
and then no, I don't even think they re-showed it in this one. But yeah, he's always had 4 arms.
What the fuck is going on? Dude, I've never seen him with 4 arms. You talking about in the comic?
No, he literally has 4 arms.
I remember Dragon Ball. I didn't see him before.
In Dragon Ball, he used to be Goku's biggest threat, right?
For like one fucking one volume. Then they changed every bug. Then they changed it. Now they have a new threat. Like that's the problem of being like a weekly manga artist. Because basically for like 20 years Akira Toriyama was drawing it, but he made the story new every week. He didn't have anything planned out. That's why it is the way it is. But it's kind of like every other week. Well, in Dragon Ball, it was different. It was more like an adventure, and the people that they were fighting, they were kind of just there. Like, it was about fighting, but it really wasn't. It was about Goku and kind of like having fun, and it was cool. It felt different. But Dragon Ball Z, it's kind of just about like, no, it's not just about fighting, but it's about mostly fighting. And mostly like the new adversary they're going to fight. It's like, first you have the fucking Ginyu Force, then you have Frieza. First you have Raditz, then you have Nappa, then you have the goddamn Cybermen, then you have Vegeta. It's like, it's that same cycle of, all right, you have the minions, then you have the leader. And Goku fights the leader and he wins. Or in one case, Gohan did.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like the Cell Saga was the worst part of Dragon... Nah. I think that the sub-characters, other than Goku, are the worst part of Dragon Ball. Because every time you see them fight, like... Remember the Cell Juniors?
Yeah.
Remember how bad they beat the shit out of everybody? And, like, the worst part is Akira Toriyama's an asshole. Because he showed them train. They got, like, 400 times stronger. And all he did was say, all that meant nothing. These Cell Juniors can kill all of you. And then Gohan beat them all in, like, 2 minutes.
Yeah. So
They never, ever... Like, sometimes they contribute. Like, during the Buu Saga, like, Gohan and Goten... not Gohan. Yeah, actually, Gohan, Goten, Vegeta, Piccolo, Trunks. Yeah, they all contributed. Because that was a really long saga. But they actually fought Boos and shit. And, like, they won some battles. But for the main villain, I forgot how they beat Kid Buu.
Goku used a spirit bomb, which can destroy any evil force.
Oh, and then he got reincarnated, right?
Yeah.
Because I was wondering, because I was like, couldn't they not kill him? Like,
But the
because
thing is, so we haven't even got to see the new Boo in Dragon Ball Super, because you know
Oh,
the new
Oob?
Boo, because in GT in Dragon Ball GT he was a black like Saiyan or some shit, or like Saiyan like person.
yeah.
But in this one he's like, I don't know where he's at.
I think it's a classic Akira Toriyama trick where he gets rid of anybody he doesn't need. You don't see Hercule every goddamn episode or Boo. Now they exist. He'll show them sometimes because you can't just have characters disappear. But if he's not using you, he's not gonna fucking show you. Like they don't show Chi Chi every goddamn episode. They don't show Chi Chi's dad because that's not important for the story.
You know, Chi Chi's dad got smaller.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened. He used to be fucking castle size, and he couldn't put out one fucking fire. He's a pussy, and now that nigga's a fucking regular size. Actually, when you get older, that does happen.
Yeah, but then it's like,
And it has been like 20
it's like
years.
in anime, it doesn't even. It's like in anime happens too often. Like they go from being like the tallest man to like the shortest somehow.
No, but in real
But in
life,
real
have you ever seen
life-
an old person shrink? Like before your eyes? Like, wasn't your grandma taller feeling, or at least you saw it when you were
Her
younger?
back is curved now, so she kind of hunches like this a little bit.
That's what happens. It's like your spine shrinks, and you just start becoming a fucking baby again. If you're old enough. Like Benjamin Button. Which is the saddest end to a movie because he finally stopped looking gross. And he was so old.
Hello.
Is it your daddy?
All right, take over the podcast real quick.
Yeah, but in Benjamin Button, like, basically there's this guy who aged backwards. My main question is, when he died, he was like 4 or 5, maybe like elementary school age. How the fuck did I don't know who the fuck made him, but how did they know he was gonna be like 80 when he was first born, and then he turned like 5? How do you have your whole life like planned out like that? And the weird part was, it like this is like realistic, but it was weird because he was like 40 years old. No, he was like 60, and he looked like a teenager, and he had horrible problems with his body. But when he was younger, he like looked like an 80-year-old man, but he was like 20, and it was like, that doesn't make sense. I would expect him to be more messed up now as an old-looking person than as a young person. Personally, that's what I would expect. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just a regular guy, man. But that's my question about Benjamin Button. When it comes to other content and shit, I don't know. I was thinking too. So I'm an artist. I make music and shit. And I was thinking about how when it comes to other artists or newer artists and shit, people don't really give them the same respect as they would want for themselves. Like when I make a song, my intention is for other people to listen to it. So when I make that song and I want other people to listen to it and I play it for people, sometimes they don't have the same reaction as I would like them to. Or they might be like, all right, it's okay. Or it might just be like vague. And sometimes I look at art and I'm just like, I don't understand yours, but I get the meaning of mine. Like, I have one song where basically I talk about the rap game in general, but whenever I play somebody the song, they don't get what the song's about. Either that or they just don't give a fuck. Now, that might be bad on my execution. I might have articulated it wrong. Nobody really knows. But my point is, when it comes to interpreting art, I lack. And when I think about other artists, I have the same feeling as somebody else would about mine, where it's kind of like, unless I know the person, I don't give a fuck. It's like, to me, Cardi B is a new artist. And I know some people like Cardi B. But for me personally, I think Cardi B is okay at what she does, but I don't have any real motivation to listen to your music. Or when it comes to listening to new music, for you personally, I don't have any reason. So then I started thinking, because I'm usually against social media just because I feel like it's a way for the government to distract us, because I'm one of those people. Or for everybody to know your information. I don't like to disclose everything. I'm from that school of thought where you hold things inside forever. But when I look at people on social media and they're newer artists and they're like Boonk is one person who's like doing things in stores, he's doing crazy stuff just to get attention for their art. I was starting to think, do people actually like care about your art more when you do that? And I think I figured out that people do in a way, but they might not 100%, because when you're taking those steps and you're really doing vulgar things to get attention, it's the same as a stripper taking her clothes off. People don't take it as seriously. So then I look at people like that and I say, man, will it work or will it won't work? And will that get my attention, where usually I just be like, I don't give a fuck about your music because you're a new artist and I'm not invested in you as a person or your brand. And anybody listening to this, just give me your own personal opinion. I know this is later in the podcast. I could have started with this, but we didn't. But just give me your opinion on what you think. Just more my question to the audience when I'm alone, because I don't have any people to podcast to, and just asking the audience, like, this. I really want this not to be just me talking at you, or you guys just hearing our conversations. I want to make conversations with you. But now Melvin's returned from taking a dog ass shit or being on the phone.
Piece of shit.
Shit. Take a bunch of hoes, nigga. You know, it ain't about. I'm gonna get real. Talking for a very long time hurts my throat so much. I feel like I'm gonna die. We're talking for 56 minutes, man. Feels like 30. I need water.
All right.
Shit. That is a big fucking bee. Don't move. That motherfucker is huge.
Where? Oh, that thing?
Nigga, that thing. That shit is not a fucking thing. That's a fucking...
Why is he like
that's
not
a fucking
eating
bee, that's
the
thing.
pollen?
Nigga's on top of the flower. He's fucking retarded.
He's fucking the flower. That's what he's doing.
Number one, you can't fuck a flower. Make love to it. Number two, you bring people flowers so you can make love to them. And B doesn't know anything about romance. Huge ass fucking B.
I think those supposed to be like queen bees or something. I don't know what type of bee they are.
It's like, there's like 40 classifications, but it's supposed to be like honeybees. Then it's supposed to be queen bee. And it's supposed to be like worker bees that like make honey and shit. Some of them don't have stingers. It's like 45 different classifications. I don't know what that one is, but we could look that shit up. Not now though, because why do it now? Also, while we're on the end of the podcast, I'd like to say the racist comments. I saved them long enough. I think I worked hard. So, Melvin, I'm asking you a personal opinion when it comes to, let's say, a Cardi B situation or Amber Rose. Or I always bring them up because they're kind of the figureheads of their movement. But when it comes to being somebody who enjoys all the pleasures of life, including debauchery, or maybe having different relationships with different men, I think that some women envy that in certain other women that talk about, let's say, living a whole lifestyle where basically they might have come from being a dancer at a strip club to doing different things like rapping, acting, just being an Instagram model. And I think certain women envy that and they would like to aspire to that, but they can't in their regular life because they understand how society looks at these type of people. But personally, I feel like I think women envy it. I think some of them want to be like that. They just can't because they don't think they should. What do you think?
Some women envy that.
They envy the Amber Roses, the Cardi B's, the Black Chynas, the girls that are half naked or are naked.
I don't fucking know. Because, I mean, be honest with you, that's no different than saying that you envy men who, like,
Have sex with a lot of
who
women?
get hoes and then treat them like shit.
Do I really, though? Do I really envy these men?
I'm saying it's like it's almost no different. That's the best comparison I can make of it, because you know, men fucking hoes. It's like that's never the problem, but men mistreating them. That's when most people see it as a problem. Like if you treat a female, she doesn't even have to really be a hoe, but you're treating her as if she's a hoe. So therefore, you're mistreating a woman. You know, and how Amber Rose and them are is that they're women who just enjoy just getting fucked, and they're making money off of that. Thus, they created the slut walk. And
here's my other thing. So basically, the slut walk, it started as the reason why they had the T-shirts and stuff and signs that say, "Just because I'm a slut doesn't mean you can rape me." It's basically because when you have sex with a man, in the past, not necessarily now, if a guy raped you, they would call you a slut and be like, "Oh, you just didn't want to say you had sex with him or something," and it became harder for women. Fuck is texting me. It became harder for women to go. To not be ridiculed for being attacked in that malicious way. And basically what Amber Rose did was she said, no, the slut walk means this. She just rebranded it and said that it's for women that like to have sex with multiple men. And honestly, when I think about Amber Rose and what like she does or stands for, I haven't, excuse my French, I've never been to the dick sucking contest she hosts. And unless I have intercourse,
I didn't even know that was. Oh, I actually didn't know that was a thing.
See, real hoes be having dick sucking contests. Her and Black China need to be outside, legs up,
and going in.
If they really hoes, they ain't really hoes. They fucking liars. That's how I feel personally. If you don't fuck me, you're not a hoe. You regular.
They're hosting dick sucking contests.
That's what real hoe to me, man. No, I'm saying they're not.
They're oh shit.
No, bro, if they were, I'm like, man, she is a hoe, man. I'm about to go next year, too. The annual dick sucking contest. The slut walk. Because it's stupid, because it's like, if all the sluts are there, and they're like, oh, man, you can't have sex with me, I'm a slut. It's like, bitch, do you know what words are? Do you know what definitions of words are? I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying, like, you can't just make up your own definition to preconceive concepts, bitch. Like, you can't just make shit up. And basically, what's happening with the Amber Rose slut walk is, basically, like, I'm a slut, but from my understanding, she was a stripper, which doesn't mean she was having sex with every man she saw. She dated Kanye for a very long period of time, and she dated Wiz Khalifa, and they got married, and now she's dating 21 Savage. And she might talk about having sex with ball players, but I wasn't in that room, so I don't even know if she's really a slut. Or if if she's just rebranding that term to mean something different than I have sex with a lot of men, even though she says all the time she has sex with a lot of men. So I just don't get her, man.
Yeah, but still, that don't mean she don't deserve to like be part of the slut walk.
No, but I'm saying, like, she changed it from something to empower women that have been molested maliciously or attacked to something that, oh, if you have sex with a lot of men, which is a lifestyle choice, that now you should get preferential treatment.
Or you should get treated better.
No, it's just like you should get treated like, how the fuck? It's basically like you shouldn't be treated like you're a slut, which human nature says basically sluts are bad. It's not like you don't want your girlfriend to cheat on you. And what you think about a slut is, oh, she could be somebody else's girlfriend and she's having sex with other guys. She's like, that might be the thought, or she's dirty. Like with a dude, it's a little bit different. I don't know why. I think that's just our DNA, but I don't know if she's right or wrong. I'm not going to say. I'm just going to say that's just the reality. That's what she's doing. Not like it's bad, because at least she's doing something to empower women. I think that everybody deserves to be empowered or to feel good. It's just like at the expense of who is the question. Because whenever you make a change or you grow, something's losing. If you're like, man, I'm not going to eat as much, you're losing the part of you that's a fat fuck. Now, that's a good part of you. But when you take away from the people that have been molested or attacked, they might now be like, man, I used to go out to Florida every year. Now I'm going to this slut walk, and it's just like people that aren't like me. People that haven't been through the same experiences, they really just want to be here because it's cool.
I don't know. I mean, it's their choice of what they want to do. It's their movement. I mean, it's better than feminism type shit to me.
I think feminism is its own thing, and we don't talk about that because we want this podcast to be successful. And we don't want to get shut down.
How are we gonna get shut down by feminism?
Because they run everything. Why you think we got YouTube guidelines? Who the fuck cares what you say in your videos? I ain't watching all your goddamn videos. Add people
That mean feminism
have you ever
create
seen
that.
have you ever seen a billboard in a bad neighborhood where you know goddamn well those people aren't going to Harvard? They ain't going to goddamn that university. People that make ads don't give a fuck where their ads are. That's stupid shit to be like, it can't be on a PewDiePie video. How do you know just because I watch PewDiePie I'm not going to buy a car? That's fucking stupid. How do you know because this person swears I'm not going to fucking buy this shit?
The main problem. The main problem was that when you play kid shit, they show some adult-like shit. Or when you play, like, that was
then
just
you have
really
to watch
it.
the video and then censor it. You have to put the ads where they're supposed to go, which they should have done from the beginning, but they didn't.
But then, I don't know. It's like, it's
I
what they
mean,
do.
I'm not going to act
There's a
like
whole lot of tricky stuff, and I'm pretty sure they tried doing that, but then for some reason they thought the better situation would have been if they just changed their mood and how they act, controlling how the YouTubers act. I mean, if they just didn't fuck with that period, it would have been a better community still.
To me, I feel like if you're going to make the decision to go from, all right, we're making this content, or our creators are free, and the ad companies can put their ads on whatever video, to you have to be this, you're constricting your community and you're really almost destroying it in a way. Because YouTube isn't the same. Creators are fed up. They want to change. And now if a brand new site comes up and they go like, all right, we have ads from these people. We have ads from adult companies. We want, they're a part of our organization. They are going to make a better model than YouTube. They could swipe in. Like if they do the same thing and they don't put the same restrictions and they have bylaws that prevent YouTube from really change, or their own version of YouTube from really changing, I really feel like the creators will leave because they're restricted right now. If you're an artist, you want to do your art. It doesn't matter where you do it. That's why having like different streaming platforms and shit, like they don't give a fuck. Put it on all of them. I just want to make art. If your art is cursing and you do it in an artful way and you have millions of people watching you do it and they liked it, and now ad companies are saying, oh, we don't want to be behind that, but they have millions of people that can watch their videos, then that sounds kind of weird to me. Especially if it's people like PewDiePie, the biggest YouTuber, then it's other people, and you're not really letting the people know, all right, can you change your content? This is what's wrong with it. You're just like, oh, I heard her swear. This can't have any ads. It's just like preventing things that didn't happen in a way that's just not really satisfactory, at least to me. And people are still getting ads. They might not get it from YouTube, but from real ad companies, they're getting paid still. And YouTube doesn't give you a large wage regardless. They don't pay people a lot. You need a lot of subscribers for you to actually have a livable wage on YouTube. If you have 1 million or plus, you might be able to live if all your stuff has the commercials and everything. But if not, that's not a way to live unless you can like get that up. And it's going to take years of work to get your buzz up.
Yes, it's why I don't always see why some people just consider that to be the first thing they want to do. I remember when I was younger, that's one of the things I wanted to do.
It's not bad though.
But it's like, it's only good when you're actually growing as you do it, you know, because at the end of the day, you want to make, if you're going to do it, you have to like make content and you have to consistently get better over time. Like how you like watching anime, the character, you got to get better.
You're going to be the Kenichi. You're going to have the weak knees. You're going to get up off those weak knees. You're going to stop eating Hot Pockets. You're going to become the not weak knees. All that to say, it's been a good day for a good podcast. We're at 1 hour and 9 minutes. This has been Two Guys on a Bench. Any closing comments, Melvin?
All right, so I just got one question. Fuck. What do you guys think about the slut walk? And also, okay, I gotta add on another question. How do you feel about YouTube censoring so far? Like, from where it started, like it was actually last year when it really started, all the way up till now, how do you feel about it now? Do you feel like YouTube has changed for the better? Do you feel like YouTube hasn't got worse? Do you feel like YouTube has got extremely, like it's extremely bad? Just let us know.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Two guys, one bench.